Hey guys, RV12 Pilot here again. And today I'm showing you a short video from our local chapter's, EAA Chapter's Young Eagles program. We had a combination open house and Young Eagles program. I believe it was June 12th or June 13th, second Saturday of June 2022. And here we're seeing the second of 3 flights I did that day. You're assigned a random person to go fly with. Some kids are really talkative, some kids are really shy or quiet. So you have to sort of, gauge what's going on while you're taxiing out to the runway. And as you're doing all of this, you're also trying to explain what's going on, what they're seeing, what they're hearing on the radio. So this was actually the first year that I was doing this program. And to be honest with you, I was pretty nervous about it. I wasn't really sure what kind of questions I would get from the kids. Luckily, this girl was very quiet, and I have many questions to answer. But some of the other kids, and maybe I'll post those videos later on, they asked some interesting questions I hadn't thought about before. So all in all, it was a good day. There's a decent turnout at the airport. And I would encourage any pilot who is interested in giving rides to, talk to someone from the EAA that has already done it before. I was concerned about, insurance and stuff like that, but the organization takes care of all of that for you. So I will stop here. I'll let you watch the video. This is a typical flight of what all of the Young Eagles flights were, what I saw on all of them. Usually they run about 15 minutes or so in the air, maybe 20 minutes overall from, gate to gate. And hope you enjoy it. That's what all parents want their kids to be, as a doctor, a lawyer, a pilot, an engineer, some kind of professional job. But if you don't like doing that, you can always do other things, but it's a good way to, have a good job and have money to do what you want to do in life.
Currently to the south of the runway.
I'm going to close my canopy here, because we're at the end. Keeping the canopy open during taxi is pretty important during the summertime. It gets really hot in the cockpit with the canopy closed.
Piper is south of the runway for the right downwind 26, over, 24 over.
We're just going to check the engine real quick, make sure it's happy. So I'm a stickler for details, but sometimes you need to know how much detail to give a child when you're doing certain things with the airplane. You don't want to overload them with too much information, but you also don't want them to be in the dark. So here we're just checking the ignition system and the fuel pumps. They're redundant. There's 2 of both. So we check them by turning off one of the systems and making sure that things are still okay. Everything is good and happy. What grade are you in?
4th.
Piper is right downwind 24 over.
Yeah, I remember 4th grade. I think I was finishing up learning multiplication, like the higher ones, like 12 times 12 and stuff like that. So we're waiting for him to land, but first, and then we'll go behind him. Over traffic, experimental lineup and wait 24.
Open house on today. Use caution. Old Bridge Airport. VFR automated weather advisory. Wind 330 S5. Visibility 10. High conditions. 8,800 scatters. Temperature 24 Celsius. Dew point 1.
Okay, ready?
Celsius. Altimeter 29 or 9 or 4.
Over traffic, experimental 713 departing 24. Close traffic.
Piper turning right base 4 over.
So on every one of these flights, I'm never really sure what to expect as far as a reaction from a child. And this particular child was pretty quiet the whole time until we hear a little blurb from her right now. Whoa is right.
Piper right base, runway 24 open. Piper final, runway 24 Old Bridge.
Over traffic experimental, crosswind 24.
Piper short final, runway 24 Old Bridge.
We'll go out this way, I think.
Old Bridge traffic, Hustler 11, flight of 2 helicopters. We're at 1,000 feet, about 5 miles northeast of the airfield. We'll be passing 3 miles to the east of the airfield, southbound Old Bridge.
Nice to have you.
So I was a little mistaken. We did have a helicopter land at Old Bridge around midday, but those two military helicopters were not them.
All right, so we're at about 1,400 feet high, which is about maybe a quarter of a mile. And what I want you to do is take your hand, take your right hand, put it on there,
Piper clear of...
and gently move it to the right. And you're going to see we're going to go off to the right. Yeah, just like that. And move it to the left. Very nice, very nice. Not too much up. That's about good. Yeah, yeah. And then let's see, where can we go? Let's go down to that white tower that you see out there. You see that white? I don't know, looks like a water tower or something. Go left. Go left. Yeah. Yeah, here, let's go further there.
So it took me until just now, as I was watching this video, trying to compile everything, that I realized that her sight picture, what she's seeing outside of the windscreen, is a lot different than what I'm seeing. Her eyeballs are about a foot lower than mine. So I'm seeing things out the windshield that I'm telling her to go to, and she just doesn't see them because she can't see over the instrument.
Altimeter 29.
Yeah, this is all you flying. You're doing everything. I'm just here to make sure you're safe. Oh, there's a big school there. Looks like a high school.
It sort of looks like a map.
Yeah, yeah. If you ever use like Google Maps or Google Earth, exactly what it looks like.
Sometimes kids say things, and I have to think about what I'm going to say in response. And I thought about what she said. I'm like, wow, that's actually 100% accurate. This is exactly what it looks like on Google Earth. I never thought about it that way.
Let's go out that way. Let's go to those big buildings out there. Yeah, here, just like this. Go right, and then we wait until the airplane turns. And then once we get pointed to those big buildings, yeah, right about here. Now we can level out.
Overbridge traffic, Saratoga
Yeah.
departing 24 Overbridge.
Maybe pitch the nose up just a little bit. No, up, yeah, that way. Yeah. Otherwise, we'll get too low to the ground.
Yeah, in a second or two, you'll see her pull back on the stick and move it left and right a little abruptly. The RV-12 is a lot more responsive than a Cessna that you might learn in as a student. But her movements on the stick are acceptable, nothing dangerous.
So we got a golf course down there. We got some, looks like warehouses here. Oh, this is the turnpike. This is probably the road that you took to come down here from Jersey City. That big road.
Over traffic, Skyhawk 5 miles to the southwest, going to join a left downwind for 2 over.
Sometimes it's hard to know if kids are having fun or not, but because she's making some movements on the stick, I think she's having fun here. Some kids are just a lot, quieter than others. So you sort of have to adapt to whoever you're given as a passenger in the Young Eagles program.
Over traffic, Saratoga turning crosswind to the right from 24.
Let's do a turn. Let's go back towards the airport. Going a little bit too far away. Yeah, that's all right. Just make it, and then hold this altitude, right, just like this, and let the airplane make its way over. It's a very slow turn.
Over traffic, Skyhawk 3 miles to the southwest.
And I don't see. Oh, there's the airport out there. I see it.
24 over.
Part of being a pilot is being aware of your situation, what's going on inside the cockpit, what's going on outside the cockpit, and what's going on in general with the traffic around you, the weather, and everything. So, although I know where the airport's at, I'm still putting in on the map here.
Yeah, we're gonna go that way.
A direct path to the airport. Partially so we always have a good reference of where we're going, in case we get distracted on the way there. Maybe we have to make a diversion because another aircraft is going to be crossing in front of us. Who knows? But it's nice just to have that map going. And on her side, I'm putting up the exact same map so she can see as well our path back to the airport. Because I know at this point she's unable to see the airport.
Oh, there's that big school again. The big field. We have to go up a little bit.
Traffic, Skyhawk left downwind 24 over.
Yeah, just hold this position right here. Hold it just like that. Yeah, that's good. Now we can nose over. Yeah.
Barrett's going to take the active 24 overage, 24 overage departure.
Yeah, we want to go out that way a little bit. Yeah.
And usually when you approach an airport, you're going to approach the traffic pattern at 1,000 feet above the ground, or in this case, 1,100 feet. So if you look at the PFD in the lower right of your screen, you'll see that we're about 1,000 feet right now. Getting a little bit too low, so we have to go back up about 100 feet before we want to enter the traffic pattern.
All right, we're going to start preparing to land. So I'll take the controls, and you can look out the window just and see what's out there. And I'll worry about how we're going to land. Over traffic experimental 713 entering downwind on the 45 for 24.
And over traffic, Skyhawk turn left base 24 over.
There's another airplane. Do you see him?
Over traffic, Skyhawk turn final 24 over.
It's a white airplane?
Yes.
Yeah. Over traffic experimental 713 is on downwind for 24. And then the airport's right down here. See the blue hangars, and there's an airplane that's landing right now on the runway.
As a new student, it's very difficult to spot airports from the air, and instructors love to play that game with their students. Who can spot the airport, furthest out. So at this point, I'm pretty sure she sees the airport. She sees a whole bunch of cars. There's a big parking lot next to the airport, which is a lot more noticeable than the runway itself.
Okay, we're going to start slowing down.
Over traffic, clear of 24 over.
And now we'll put the flaps down, so that lets us go even slower. And what we do normally is we pass by the airport, and then once we're maybe past that field, then we're going to make a turn, and we're going to line up with the runway.
Part of the reason we use a traffic pattern as well, there's two reasons. One is for sequencing of aircraft. If you have multiple aircraft trying to land at the same time, basically get into a queue.
Over traffic experimental 713 is turning base 24.
And also, as you're passing the airport, you have a better idea of how far away from the airport you are and how high you are in relation to where your touchdown point is going to be. So a traffic pattern isn't always necessary, especially, if you're in an airliner. There sort of isn't a traffic pattern. They just fly directly to the runway.
And over traffic experimental 713 is turning final 24. And we'll get lined up with the runway.
500.
500 feet above the ground right now. The two white lights that you see, now it's red. Red and white means that we're coming down correctly. We're not too high, not too low.
Meaning we're on the correct glide path.
Might be a little bit bumpier once we get towards the ground. We'll have to see.
It shows here that it's lined up.
Yep.
This is actually a pretty bad airport as far as turbulence near the ground. Typically, the wind comes over these trees that you see here on the left side of the runway and creates this rotor effect and non-laminar airflow across the runway. But today it doesn't seem to be too bad. A firm touchdown.
And we're going to find the next exit off of the runway. What'd you think? Do you like flying or no?
I like it.
You like it? A little getting used to, but it's a lot of fun. Let's put this canopy up. There we go. Here's your parents there. Over traffic experimental is clear 24.
All in all, I think this was a pretty good flight. I'm sure her parents right here that you see with the cameras were happy to see us on the ground again. I can only imagine what that's like to see your child just go off into the sky. Maybe next year we'll have a moving map on the ground so parents can follow along where the aircraft is going in the air. There is a YouTube site that you can go to watch the air traffic at Old Bridge Airport, but not many people know about that.
It's a lot of fun. I like flying, especially out west, like other states, because the land is so much different. There's more farms and more things to see. Out here, it's a lot of buildings and factories and stuff like that.
And now we'll shut down the aircraft. There's a certain procedure for the shutdown, and at some point you lose the audio, so you can't hear what we're saying. But their parents, I believe, are walking
and we're
over.
Gonna change that to be about 2,000. There we go. We're going to turn this stuff off, and then we'll turn the engine off.
So all said, I think that was a great flight, and I can't wait to do this again next year and expose more kids to aviation. So I highly encourage anyone who's a pilot to join the EAA and take part of this